ሰላም የሳሚ ቴክ ቻናል ተከታታዮች እንዴት ናችሁ? እኔ ደህና ነኝ። በዚህ ቪዲዮ ፓይተን ፕሮግራሚንግ ላንጉዌጅ the part of functions or what is functions in Python programming language የሚል ቪዲዮ ነው ይዤላችሁ የመጣሁት። ቪዲዮውን ከመጀመራችሁ በፊት ላይክ፣ ሼር፣ ሰብስክራይብ አድርጋችሁ እንድትጀምሩ ከወዲሁ እየጋበዝኩ ሙሉ ቪዲዮውን ተከታተሉ ዘንድ በድጋሚ ጋብዛችኋለሁ። So what is function in Python? Just like other programming languages, functions are a block of codes which is only run when it is called. እንግዲህ ፈንክሽኑ ኮል በሚደረግበት ሰዓት ኤክስኪዩት የሚደረግ ወይም ደግሞ ራን የሚደረግ certain or some fragments or line of codes የያዘ specifically for some action or operation or a single application or a specific operation define የሚደረግ fragment of code ነው ማለት ነው. So when we create a Python function, just we use a diff keyword to introduce for the interpreter. The diff keyword is first define and next the function name and within parentheses maybe a list of parameters or without parameters you can based on your problem domain just to create a function use diff then function name open close parentheses. So after we define the function we use or we call another technique called calling function. What is calling mean? To display or return or view the output of the function, just we should call that function. How we call? Just some variable is equals to function name. If there is a list of parameters, you can pass a list of parameters, unless if the function is void or without parameter, just only function name followed by list of parentheses. We will see it each one by one with example. Look, this is some or example code is written to show you how we define a function. Just write here the diff keyword. This is Python reserved word used to indicate the coming or the next character or identifier as a whole is called function. እንግዲህ ቀጣዩ ፈንክሽን ስም ያለው ስም ፈንክሽን መሆኑን ኢንትሮዲዩስ ለማድረግ ዲፍ የሚል ኪወርድ ፓይተን ሪዘርቭድ የሆነ ኪወርድ አለ እሱን እንጠቀማለን ማለት ነው። ዜን እዚህ ጋር ፓራሜትር ካላችሁ ሊስት ኦፍ ፓራሜትር ማስቀመጥ ትችላላችሁ። ከሌላችሁ ዊዛውት ፓራሜትር ኢምፒቲ ፓረንተሲስ ማስቀመጥ ይቻላል። ዜን under new line there is no need of closing and opening and closing braces. Just in Python already the language knows the concept of indentation. What indentation mean here? A block of codes or line of codes, certain line of codes that is under this function is imbounded using this indentation concept. እንግዲህ እቺ ከዲፍ ከሚለው ቀጥሎ ያሉት ላይን ኦፍ ኮዶች የፈንክሽኑ ቦዲ መሆናቸውን ኢንትሮዲዩስ ለማድረግ ምን እንጠቀማለን? ሁለት ስፔስ ገባ ብለን እንጽፋለን ማለት ነው። ሁለት ስፔስ ገባ ብለን ቦዲውን እንጽፋለን ማለት ነው። የፈንክሽኑ ቦዲ ይሄ ምን ይባላል ማለት ነው? እንግዲህ ስለዚህ ፈንክሽን ቦዲ ይባላል ማለት ነው። How it doesn't matter the line of code, how much the line of code is there. Just if the indentation is indent two spaces next to the function, then the list of lines are considered as part of the function or enclosed that under that function. So after that, in order to turn out from the body of the function, just use zero indent, just like that of the first one. እንደዚህ በዜሮ ኢንደንት እንጽፋለን ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ እዚህ ጋር ኮል አደረግነው ፈንክሽን ኔም ይሄው ፈንክሽን ኔም then ኢምፒቲ ፓረንተሲስ ኮል ስናደርገው ፈንክሽኑ እዚህ ውስጥ የሚሰራው ስራ ዲስፕላይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ዲስፕላይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ፕሪንት ዚፕ ይላል። አሁን ደግሞ ይሄንን ሌላ አውትፑት ዲስፕላይ እንዲያደርግልን ፈለግን። ይሄን ዲስፕላይ ያደረገን ኔክስት ኮል በምናደርግበት ሰዓት አሁንም ይሄን ቱ ላይን ኦፍ ኮድ ሄሎ ኤንድ ፈን ፕሪንት ሄሎ ፕሪንት ፈን የሚለውን ከፈንክሽን ውስጥ ገብቶ ምን ያደርጋል ዲስፕላይ ያደርግልናል ማለት ነው። ኢፍ ዊ ኮል ኢት አጌን ቲንክ ሂር ቲንግ ብለን እዚህ ጋር አሁንም ኮል ብናደርግ ምንድነው የሚፈጠረው? ቱ ላይን ኦፍ አውትፑት ዚስ ዋን ሪፒትድ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ሄሎ እና ፈን የሚለው እዚህ ጋር ዲስፕላይ ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ሲምፕሊ ዋት ኢዝ functions we call this reusable piece of code we call functions. Back to this simple description. This is the function call, function name followed by parenthesis. This is function call. This is a function name. Actually, this is a function definition with this div keyword. This is the function call. This is normal statement output display statement. This is also simple displaying or function calling. Good. Next one. In Python, we have generally two types of functions in Python programming. Like other programming languages, Python programming languages have two basic functions. The first one is the Python built-in function, and the second one is custom or user-defined functions. Now in our case, we use only the built-in functions. What are these? For example, this one: print, input, type, float, int. This is some list of Python built-in functions. Print used to display some text to the console or to the output window. Input used to accept user input from the keyboard. Type used to display the data types of the variable that we have used. Float used to define or used to cast variables from some value to float value. Int is the same, to cast or to convert some data type value to integer type. This is what we call or examples of some list of Python function built-in functions. So functions that we have defined ourselves and then use it is called user-defined functions. We treat functions named as new reserved words. Example, or that means we avoid them as variable names እንደማለት ይሆናል ማለት ነው። So as a function definition, or what function definition means is that in Python a function is some reusable codes that take some arguments as input if you pass argument and it does some computation operations and then return the result or the results of that computation. እንግዲህ ምንድነው ፓይተን ፈንክሽን የምንለው የሆነ ፓራሜትር ሊስት ኦፍ ፓራሜትር ይወስዳል ላይወስድም ይችላል then some ኮምፒቴሽኖችን ወይም ደግሞ የሆነ ኦፕሬሽኖችን ፓስ ካደረገ በኋላ ውጤቱን ሪተርን የሚያደርግ ወይም ዲስፕሌይ የሚያደርግልን ፓይተን ፈንክሽን እንለዋለን አዘሆል ፈንክሽን እንለዋለን ማለት ነው so we define a function using the diff keyword as I told you before diff የምትባል reserved word እንጠቀማለን to define functions. Specifically in Python we use diff keyword. Java ላይ ለምሳሌ ክላስ ብለን ጀምራለናል Java ክላሶችን ዲፋይን ለማድረግ or ዲክላር ለማድረግ so in Python we use diff keyword to define a function. We call or invoke the function by using the function name, parentheses and list of arguments if there exist, unless it doesn't matter. Without argument you can use with empty arguments using simply empty parentheses. This is how we call the function. Look this one argument. This is argument big equals max of hello world. This is the string This is simply a string value or literal values of this function. This is built in Python function max. Then this is the assignment operator, and this is the returned value of this function, what we call the result of the function operation after some operation. ይሄንን አርጊውመንት ፓስ አድርገንለታል። then ፈንክሽኑ ይሄ ከዚህ አርጊውመንት ውስጥ የሚሰራውን ስራ ሰርቶ አውትፑቱን ፋይናል ሪተርን የሚያደርግልን ይሄን ቫልዩ ነው ማለት ነው። so big is equals max of hello world print big tin is equals min of hello world print tin ያለ በዚህ መንገድ የሚቀጥል ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so what max function do is here is that a function is some stored code that we use. A function takes some input and process some step or operation and produces as an output, like this one. Big squash max of hello world is value or literal value of this function that we pass to this function, or simply it is an argument we pass to this function, and the function makes or processes some steps and return some value when we call this max function. This max function print pigs in the low is in operation output display ያደርግልናል። this value display ያደርጋል ማለት ነው። good. The next one, type conversion. Just as I told you from the beginning, we use different type conversion functions. We have different type conversion functions, float, int, string, and like. Just in this case, when you put an integer and floating point in an expression or operation, the integer is implicitly converted to a float. Implicitly, you can control this with the built-in function int and float. Busy control manager. Look this one. This example. Print float 99/100. I think the result is 0.99. But this is integer. This is also integer. The result is 0 normally. But when we pass this type casting or conversion function at the beginning of these two values, the result is converted to float and placed or displayed this value. Look this one. Just for example, print or just as a new save typecasting type.py. This is the function name. Save it and write print. Write this fragment of code and see what will be the output. Print first 99/100. What will be the output? Save it, run it. The output is 99. Automatically it converts to what? Floating point. But to follow the general step, just write this one. Float and opening and closing parentheses here. This is right structure 0.99. Good. Look another example. Print 9/2. Save it and run it again. 4.5 automatically or implicitly converts to its float value. But at the beginning 9 is integer, 2 is integer, 99 is integer, 100 is integer. But when we pass this float, or automatically by implicitly converts it to floating point. What will be if we use print 9.5 divided by 2? What will be that? Guess it. Save it, run it. The output is 4.75. Automatically it converts to floating point. It converts to floating point. Then when we look here, this one I is equals to 42, type of I int, f is equals to float of I 42.0, type of f float እየቀየረው ይሄዳል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ታይፕ ኦፍ የሚለው ዲስፕሌይ የሚያደርግልን መደቡን ነው የምን ዳታ ታይፕ እንደሆነ ለመናገር ነው። ፍሎት ኦፍ ብለን ዳታ ቫሪያብሉን ስናሳልፍለት ደግሞ ያ ዳታ ታይፕ ወደዚህኛው እንዲቀየርልን ከኢንቲጀር ወደ ፍሎት እንዲቀየርልን ለማሳየት እንጠቀምበታለን ማለት ነው። ፕሪንት 1 + 2 times float of 3 over 4 minus 5 ይላል። ለምሳሌ እዚህ ጋር አሁን float of 3 over 4 using calculation ይሰራል። then 2 times this result የሆነ ሪዛልት ይመጣል። then 1 plus this result minus 5 this ይመጣልናል ማለት ነው። ይሄኛው ይመጣልናል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ካስቲንግ ወይም ደግሞ ታይፕ ኮንቨርዥን እንደዚህ ይሰራልናል ማለት ነው። what about strings? Look here. You can also use int and float to convert between strings and integers. From string to integer and integer to string. You will get an error if the string does not contain numeric characters. እንግዲህ በኮቴሽን ውስጥ ያለ ሁሉም ነገር ምንድነው ብለናል? string ነው ብለናል። ስለዚህ look this one. This is string value. But if there is A or B characters out of numeric character here, when we convert from string to integer, we got some error. Cannot concatenate or cannot convert from string to integer የሚል error display ያደርግልናል ማለት ነው። Look this one. Type of sval string ነው ብለናል። then print sval +1 ስንለው ይሄ string ነው +1 string plus number the data type is not compatible so it is not allowed here ይላል። we cannot concatenate it ይለናል። so first we should change this string value to integer value like this one. int value is equals I value is equals int of sval ስንለው under quotation 1 2 3 የነበረው 123 ይሆንልናል። int of this ival type of ival ስንለው integer ይሆንልናል after casting or converting. then print ival +1 ስንለው 123 ሲደመር 1 124 ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው። so nsv is equals hello world nv is equals int of nsv ኤረር ነው። አሁን ይሄን እዚህ ውስጥ ኢንቲጀር የሚባል ነገር ስለሌለ ኤረር ሀፕን ያደርጋል ማለት ነው። ፒውር ስትሪንግ ካራክተሮችን ወደ ኢንቲጀር መቀየር አንችልም። ኑሜሪካል ካራክተር አንደርኮት የሆኑ ግን መቀየር እንችላለን ማለት ነው። that is good. How we build our own functions, we create a new function using the diff keyword followed by the optional parameters in the parenthesis optional ነው ብያቸዋለሁ። parenthesis ውስጥ ፓስ የምናደርጋቸው አርጊውመንቶች ወይም ፓራሜትሮች ምንድናቸው? ኦፕሽናል ናቸው ብለናል። ካለ ኦፕሬሽኑን መደመር መቀነስ ማባዛት ይበር ፓስ የምናደርገው ቫልዩ ካለ with parameter ይሆናል። ከሌለ with empty parenthesis መጠቀም እንችላለን። but the diff keyword is common and mandatory to introduce the coming or the next or the followed name is used for function declaration. We indent the body of the function as I told you before. We indent the body of the function to enclose or to impound the body of line of codes is enclosed under the function. So this defines the function but does not execute the body of the function because the body of the function is executed when the function name is called. Good. So how we define and call the function just for our own user defined or custom functions or created by programmers, we use the diff keyword as I told you before. Look this one. For example, diff print lyrics or x equals to 5 print hello. This is normal display in our output. Diff print lyrics, this is function. This is a function name. Print lyrics is function name without any parameter. The function created without parameter. Then we indent two spaces and we write list of line of codes whatever the line of code is not matter how much is it, but we should indent to inbound or to enclose under this function, because for other programming languages to introduce the line of code is under that function we use opening and closing braces, but in Python now we use indentation. To introduce or to tell or to inbound that line of code is inbounded or enclosed under that function or the body of that function, to introduce the body of the function. So print yo x equals x plus 2 print x በምንልበት ሰዓት print yo display ይሆንልናል። x equals x plus 2 በምንልበት ሰዓት 7 display ይሆንልናል። print x በምንልበት ሰዓት 7 display ይሆናል። ዮም እዚህ ጋር ለ print print lyrics ይላል እዚህ ጋር print lyrics ይችኛዋ ደግሞ ምን ዲስፕሌይ እንዲሆን ያደርግልናል? እነዚህ ሁለቱ ላይን ኦፍ ኮዶች ምን እንዲሆኑ ዲስፕሌይ እንዲሆኑ ያደርግልናል ማለት ነው። ሁለት ላይን ኦፍ ኮድ ዲስፕሌይ እንዲሆን ያደርግልናል። አክቹአሊ ፕሪንት ዮር ሲለው ሶሪ ፕሪንት ሄሎ ሲለው እዚህ ጋር ሄሎን ዲስፕሌይ አድርጓል መጀመሪያ። then next one ይሄ ፈንክሽን አለ ኮል እስካልተደረገ ድረስ አውትፑት የለም። next one ይሄን ነው ዲስፕሌይ የሚደረገው ዮ ዲስፕሌይ ሆኗል ሁለተኛ። then ቀጣይ x ነው ዲስፕሌይ የሚደረገው x 5 ነው እዚህ ጋር 5 plus 2 is equals to 7 ዲስፕሌይ ሆኗል ማለት ነው። then next one print lyrics የምትለው ይችኛው ኮል ስትደረግ ይሄኛው ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ይሄኛው two line of codes are displayed here እነዚህ ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናሉ ማለት ነው። በጣም ጥሩ። So definitions and uses of the function. Once we have defined a function, then we can call or invoke it anywhere that we want to use that function. So this is writing and storing somewhere and use it the pattern when you want to use that function or line of codes. Then as you see here from the previous example, x equals 5 print hello div print lyrics. This is the function definition. This is the body of the function. After two line of indent, we write any operation or any body of the function. Then the display is start from this one. The first one, this one. This is first displayed. The next print this is secondly displayed, and the third one print x. Sorry, here, third at the third time this is displayed. Print lyrics, two line of output is displayed here. I am a lumberjack and I am okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. And then the fourth one is this one. So based on this principle or a step, the function displays this output. Good. What is argument is in other in programming language? An argument is a value that we pass to the function. As an input of the function when we call the function to get an output. So we use arguments so we can direct the function to different kinds of workers when we call it in different times. እንግዲህ ፈንክሽኑን አንዴ ጽፈናል somewhere ኮል የምናደርገው ግን many times it depends on what we want how many times ምን ያክል እንደምንፈልገው እንግዲህ እንደሁኔታው ይለያያል። ስለዚህ ኮል ባደረግነው ሰዓት ምን ያስፈልገናል? አርጊውመንት ያስፈልገናል ማለት ነው። አርጊውመንቱ ወደ ፈንክሽኑ ይሄዳል። ፈንክሽኑ ውስጥ ኦፕሬሽኑ ተሰርቶ output to display ይሆናል ማለት ነው። So we use arguments so we can direct the function to do different kinds of works when we call it what the function. We put the arguments in parentheses after the name of the function is written or come. ስለዚህ ፈንክሽኑን ከጻፍን በኋላ በፓረንቴሲስ ውስጥ ፓስ የምናደርገው ቫልዩ ምን ይባላል? አርጊውመንት ይባላል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ማክስ ኦፍ ሄሎ ይላል። ስለዚህ እዚህ ውስጥ ያለውን ማክስ ፈንክሽን በተሰጠው ፎርሙላ መሰረት ካልኩሌት አድርጎ ኦር ኮምፔር አድርጎ display ያደርግልናል ማለት ነው so what we call it this is an argument of the function an argument of the function parameters is a variable አሁን ሁለት ነገር ነው መለየት ያለባችሁ እዚህ ጋር parameters and arguments parameters are variables but arguments are values of that variable I think clear ይሆናላችሁ ይመስለኛል parameter የምንለው variable ነው parameter የምንለው variable ነው ማለት ነው variable ነው argument የምንለው ግን የቫሪያብሉን value parameter function define እናደርግ ነው ወይም ደግሞ function definition ላይ ነው pass እናደርግ ምን parameter argument ግን function call በምናደርግበት ሰዓት ነው so it is a handle that allows the code in the function to access the argument for a particular function is invocation function invocation so look here lang is a variable it is passed from the function definition then this variable may handle different values when we call this function so when we pass these different values that is called argument when we pass this variable to this function this is called parameter if lang is equal to c++ print Sami Tech channel if lang is equal to pi print Sami Tech only else print hello እንግዲህ Sami Tech sorry py c++ የምንላቸው እነዚህ ሁለት ቫልዩ ናቸው ማለት ነው ቼክ የሚደረጉት እየገቡ እዚህ ጋር ቼክ የሚደረጉ ምንድናቸው ማለት ነው ቫልዩ ናቸው ይሄ ራሱ ደግሞ ምን ይባላል ፓራሜትር ይባላል ማለት ነው ስለዚህ ኮንዲሽን በዚህ መስራት ይቻላል ማለት ነው ፈንክሽን ኮንዲሽናል ስቴትመንትን በፈንክሽን መስራት ይቻላል ማለት ነው so great en ይላል great en ሲለው great is the function name then we pass this value this value እንግዲህ ከዚህም ውጭ ናቸው enn this enn equal to c++ no enn equal to py no then else print hello የሚለው ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው this one first time second time great c++ ይሄን ቫልዩ ፓስ አደረግን ይሄ ቫልዩ ማለት ምንድነው አርጊውመንት ማለት ነው ለየትኛው ፓራሜትር lang ለተባለው ፓራሜትር ቫሪያብል ማለት ነው ይሄን ለዚህ ቫሪያብል ይሄንን ቫልዩ ፓስ እናደርግበት እዚህ ጋር ቼክ ያደርጋል ቼክ ሲያደርግ ይሄኛው ማች ስለሚያደርግ ይሄኛውን አውትፑት ዲስፕሌይ ያደርጋል ማለት ነው then the last one fr great fr compare here fr equal to c++ no fr equal to py no then the last option is actually this is changed hello world የሚል አውትፑት እዚህ ጋር ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው hello world hello only hello because fr is didn't match to any value in the condition hello የሚለው ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው this is mistake sorry good return value what is return values often a function will take its arguments do some computation and return some value to that function at the value of the function call in the calling expression እንግዲህ function define ተደርጓል parameter አለው variable ለዛ variable argument pass አድርገናል በዛ argument መሰረት function መሰረት ያለበትን calculation or any computation ይሰራል ከሰራ በኋላ ለfunction ምን ይመልስለታል return value ይመልስለታል ማለት ነው then this return value is followed the return keyword followed by that value is called the return value look this one diff great return hello this is the return output or returned value to this function great when we call great the output is hello for example print great ይላል great በምንልበት ሰዓት እቺኛዋ ምን ትሆናለች ማለት ነው ዲስፕሌይ ትሆናለች ማለት ነው ዲስፕሌይ ትሆናለች print great ይላል አሁንም the second time እቺኛዋ ዲስፕሌይ ትሆናለች ማለት ነው great comma plain this is simply character under quotation or normal string then hello gilman hello sally የሚል output ይኖረናል ማለት ነው this is for this one and this is for this output and the same for great function call this is displayed, and this string output is displayed here. So return value looks like this one. Return value. Next we have two types of return values: the void and non-void, or out of void, or any other return type. So fruitful function is one that produces a result or return type value by Python. So return statement ends the function execution and sends back that value or result to that function that we call it fruitful functions. Look this one: diff great lang, if lang equal to s, return hello. If lang equal to far, return bonjour, else return hello. So this is called fruitful functions. This is called fruitful functions. Just look here: print great and glen. ስለዚህ ይችኛዋን ከዚህ ጋር ማች ስለምታደርግ ኢኤን የለም አክቹአሊ ስለሌለ፣ ስለዚህ ሄሎ ግሌን የሚለው ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል። ይሄኛው ሃላን ሻሎን፣ ይሄኛው ቦንጆር ሚካኤል የሚል ዲስፕሌይ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። this is called fruitful function. multiple parameters or arguments እንግዲህ ፈንክሽኖች n numbers of arguments ይወስዳሉ። n numbers of argument ለመውሰድ n numbers of parameter variable declare መደረግ መቻል አለበት። in this case we have two variables, or we have two parameters. So after we define these two variables, this function having two parameters, we are expected to pass two argument values when we call this add2 function. add2 function የተባለውን ፈንክሽን ኮል በምናደርግበት ሰዓት ሁለት አርጊውመንት ፓስ ማድረግ ይጠበቅብናል። why? because add2 የተባለው ፈንክሽን ምን አለው? ዲፋይን ሲደረግ ሁለት ፓራሜትር አለው ማለት ነው። so diff add2 a b, whatever the data type here is that it have two data parameters, then added is equals to a plus b. added is also another data. Return added, float, integer, whatever. The data is identified, or the data type of the variable is identified here when we pass the data type, the variable or the argument to that function. X is equals to r235, 3 for a, 5 for b. Then 3 plus 5, the result is placed under this added variable, and this added variable contains this summation 7, and x is equals to 7. Then print x. When we call this print x, the output is, it is 8. When we print x, the output is 8. So ሁለት ፓራሜትር ካለን፣ ሁለት ቫሪያብል ካለን ፓስ በምናደርግበት ሰዓት ምን ይጠበቅብናል? ሁለት አርጊውመንት ይጠበቅብናል ማለት ነው። ሁለት ኢንቲጀር አርጊውመንት ይጠበቅብናል ማለት ነው። then the output is displayed looks like this one. We can define more than one parameter in the function definition. Yes, we simply add more arguments when we call the function. Okay, we match the number and order of arguments and parentheses. As you know, in other programming languages, the order and number of arguments in function definition should be equal or compatible with the function called function argument values. That means that the data type of this variable and this value, the data type and this variable and this value should be the same and compatible. And also the number of parameters here and the number of arguments here should be equal. For example, if we define with 3 parameters and we pass 2 arguments, it is incomplete or makes or returns an error, because the number of parameter in function definition and the number of the number of arguments in function calling is not equal or compatible. So you should focus, or you should consider, or you should be careful the number of parameters and number of arguments during function definition and function calling. Good. So void is an fruitful function. When a function does not return a value, we call it void function. Functions that return a value are called fruitful functions. Void functions are not fruitful, totally not fruitful. Good. To function or not to function, organize your code into paragraphs, capture a complete thought and name it. Name it. Don't repeat yourself, make it work once and then use or call it anywhere that you want to do it. If something gets too long or complex, break up into logical chunks and put those chunks in functions. Making different tasks for different functions. When we try to operate or calculate large or wide functions or operations, make it divide and make it simple and divide in specific tasks. This is the concept of functions. Make a library of common stuff, repeat stuff that you do over and over. Perhaps share this your friends. Good. As a summary, in this video, we see what is functions. We see built-in function. What is built-in functions? We see type casting or type conversion from one data type to another data type. We see string conversions from numerical character. We can change or convert to another data types unless it is difficult or it cannot possible. Parameters. What is parameters? It is simply variable that we pass to function definition. Arguments are values that we pass to when we call the function based on the order and the number of parameters that is defined in function definition. We carefully follow the order and type of the parameters that is defined in function definition, and we pass to function calling values of that function. Results, we call it fruitful functions. When a function returns some value, we call it fruitful functions. Then the opposite is called void function or non-fruitful functions. So why we use functions? It is used to simplify or write somewhere some fragment of code or list of or line of codes and use it without repeating this line of code, simply by calling the function names and reduce, simplify, and also more manageable, make a code or a source of code more interactive and manageable for programmers. This is what we call or what we see in this video. As an exercise, look this one. Write your pi computation with time and half for overtime and create a function called compute pi, which takes two parameters, hour and rate, and calculate how much the net money payment of that employee or some individual. We open Python programming language editor. Simply write Python here. This is my IDE, Python programming language IDE. What it says, just new, make, first save the function. What is the function name? Compute pi dot py. This is the function name. Save it first, and what it says, define the function name as diff compute pi. It requires two parameters, that is the hours and rates. The hours, comma, rates. Rate, and it is better to accept from user how much the time or how much the rate of the payment is. So a or simply how is equals to input to accept from user input. Please enter the total hour of the overtime. over time. Then next one, rate is equals to input. Also we accept it. Input, please enter the rate of the overtime calculation, and then just total or net sal or net payment is equals to h times r, and then from this line out to this line, that is the body of the function. Then here we are expected to leave out from the function and call it. So compute pi, and we pass two values or arguments. Let 1, 2. Actually this value is not used in the competition, rather to keep the number of arguments and types of arguments for our function. Then actually here return what? Net pi. Then here print the net payment, the net overtime payment is quotation, comma. Actually simply we can pass this to this. Yeah. When we execute this, what will be the output? Look, try. Please enter the hour of the overtime. Let 100 hour with name as the employee universities or pass, and the rate of the overtime calculation may be 50% of his salary. Then what will be? Oh, there is an error. What is that? Multiple sequence by non-int of type conversion ይላል። ዳታ ላይ እንትን ያለበት ነገር አለ ማለት ነው። ፓይ እዚህ ጋር ዋንቶ አሳለፈን ኮምፒቲሽን። okay, it is okay. Just remove it and just pi variable here, pi is equals to this. You can use like this one. What will be the output? Look again, overtime maybe 100 hours within that time month, and the rate may be 15. Then what will be the output? Again an error, multiple sequence by an int type string, white ones again. What will be net pi return? Actually Python, when we accept input from the keyboard, by default all inputs are string. So we are expected to cast it to or convert to another data type first, another data type or integer data type. Look this one, how we cast. Just hh is equals to int of h, for example, int of h. And for the second one, rr is equals to int of what? r, int of r. Save it, and in the calculation we use hh. This is integer. This is integer, but this is what you call a string. Look, type print type h in Balowski. What will be the output? Again, print type of r, and again after casted to integer, what will be the output? Look, the indentation should be the same. Save it and run again it. Comma, where is it? Semicolon is needed, parenthesis is needed, semicolon, parenthesis, semicolon. Okay, run it. Please enter the hourly pi, so enter 100. Next, the rate may be 50. Enter. Yeah, the total output here, as you see here. Please enter 100 times 50, 1500, but the type or the class is for all, it is string. What is wrong here? Oh, this is r, this is h. Now it is correct. በደንብ ያሳየን። Okay, wait, please. 100 enter. Sorry, run it again. F5 hour, total hour 100 and 15 for rate. And when we enter this one, you see this one, the first two variables is string, the second one is the second two, or after the type is casted to other data type, it is integer, and the total net payment is 1500. እዚህ ጋር መጀመሪያ ምንድን ነበሩ? እዚህ ጋር ኢንቲጀር string ነበሩ የመጀመሪያዎቹ ሁለቱ እነዚህ። After we cast it to integer, what will be the type of these two variables? hh and rr, class or type integer. ክላሳቸው ወይም ታይፓቸው ኢንቲጀር ሆኗል። ኢንቲጀር ከሆኑ ካልኩሌሽን መስራት እንችላለን። ካልኩሌሽን ከሰራን በኋላ return net pi ብለናል። then pi is equal computation of 1 2 ይለናል። compute pi በምንልበት ሰዓት ምን ይሆናል? አውትፑቱን ዲስፕሌይ ያደርግልናል ማለት ነው። the net overtime payment is 1500. This is how we compute or how we conduct this exercise. You can do more similar exercises using these types of problem solving technique or skill. Or for example, you can do your net monthly salary of an employee, or you can calculate the student's grade. You can calculate whatever any mathematical operations or problems that you have do or done in other programming languages. You can also do using Python programming languages. It is more easy, more interactive for to humans, or it is near to human language because it is high level programming language. Thank you to watch my video. We will meet by another video. Thank you. Please like, share, subscribe.